Have a look at this. An animating Sonic the Hedgehog. Drawing that by hand must have taken ages, so it's no surprise then that these days animation has gone computerised. But previous animation packages have been designed for use by professionals. This one, though, the Hanna Barbera movie studio, is designed for use by idiots, which is why I'm demonstrating it. I thought we'd start with something along a fishy theme, so I'll get me a little fish and I'll reproduce him. And down in the bottom corner here are the number of frames that I'm using. So I've got frame 1, that's where I want the fish for frame 2. And we move it on a bit, and I'll put the fish down here for frame 3. Now, the grey images that you're seeing is a technique called onion skinning, and what that does, it allows you to position your fish in relation to the previous ones. Now, frame 7, and we'll have him just down here by the octopus. I also, when he's here, I want his eye to open up and his mouth to go into shocked when he sees the octopus. So first of all, I'll wipe out the mouth here. I've blown it up as well because it's much easier to work in a magnified image than it is on the tiny one on the screen. Put the black in, and if I draw his eye in all surprised and shocked like that with an eyeball in the middle and give him a surprised mouth. Now we want to colour him in. Let's make him yellow. Unlike on most paint packages, there's a fill-in window there, and so I can just click on him and fill it in, and move forward and fill it in. Now, why, you're saying to yourself, didn't he make the fish yellow at first, and then he wouldn't have to go through frame by frame, filling them all in? Well, the reason for that is quite simple. If I'd been doing proper animation, it wouldn't be exactly the same fish every time. They'd be a little bit different each time, and so, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Andy Crane's fantastic fishy animation. The great thing about this package is that it comes with pre-programmed stuff of your favourite Hanna Barbera characters. Now, here's a sneak preview of the Jetsons having a space bomb. For my next animation masterpiece, ladies and gentlemen, I have enlisted the help of my video camcorder, tripod, and a smashing little cardboard cutout of Barney Rubble. And we're going to demonstrate an animation technique called stop frame. Now, what happens here is the camera takes a picture of little Barney down there and feeds it into the computer, and then I can grab stills or frames of Barney in a digitised form. So what you do is you move his arm, say, and take another picture of him, or move his leg up there and take another picture of him, or you can move the whole of Barney right up in the air and take a picture of him. When you finish the sequence you want, here you tidy up the edges a bit and you can colour it in and then put it against a nice backdrop. Now that obviously takes quite a long time, but we did one earlier this morning, and this is Barney Rubble against the same backdrop as the Jetsons. Now, this week's news and previews.
Before the photo can be worked on by the computer, it has to be scanned in electronically. On the screen, each picture is made up of tiny dots called pixels. The more pixels, the better the picture. For quality work like this, there needs to be 700 times more detail than there is in a TV picture. For a single image like this, that means over 20 million dots.
Because it looks as if everything in this picture was in the same place at the same time, and they could have done it that way. By photographing each element separately, it means they have much more control over the final look.
A top model photographer was chosen to light Christie and make her look and feel her best. The car is only used to put her in the correct pose and will later be replaced. The same car, minus Christie, is then relit by a specialist car photographer. See how he's brought out stylish reflections and detail to the car. The third element is the concrete mixer, another cheat. It's a life-size model, made of wood and polystyrene. The concrete in the car is a mixture of real concrete and photographic artwork.
And now for the easy bit, they've just got to put it all together.
On this picture of the model, the photographer has provided the model with foam pads just to save her knees. But we can retouch those out. What I'm going to do is just draw a mask around the line of the leg. Now here we can see a bit of foam pad where her knee has pressed into the foam. So I'm going to have to draw her knee at that point. And I can copy bits of the picture from one place to the other. That's just what I'm doing here. I'm drawing with her actual skin with two brushes at the same time, one picking up and one putting down. Reverse it and just put a bit of the bonnet of the car.
Having removed one pad, Michael does the same with Christie's other leg. He then cuts right round her body, so he can position her onto the original picture of the car.
There she is. Once we've stuck down the girl in the position we're happy with, we'd go back and take just the reflection and put that down on this car separately.
Michael uses an electronic airbrush to restore the original picture underneath, so it looks like it's on the new bonnet. The harder he presses, the more is restored from the best car shot.
So I can make that reflection begin to look like it's on the new bonnet. People tend to think the camera never lies, and that really helps us, because when you see a photograph, you tend to already believe that that has to be real.
So much for Christy, but now here's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to make myself perfect. Well, almost.
We're going to have to reconstruct the arm here where you're leaning on the wall. And you said perhaps you wanted one of your legs to look thinner.
Well, I don't think I'll ever really make it to the billboards, but it was fun while it lasted.
Well, I thought you looked smashing before they flirted with you.
Thank you.